Hi guys, I'm Erin and I blog over at For the Love of Crust. This is going to be my first vlog, which is something I've wanted to do for a while but have been a little hesitant. I decided to do it and talk about more personal subjects related to motherhood just because I think that sometimes hearing somebody's voice is more relatable than just reading it. So I wanted to start with my procedure to have my tubes tied. Um, and so now it's been, like 3 months almost, because it was the end of November. So I wanted to talk about that procedure, any regrets I have, how it went, so that if anybody's considering it, maybe this will give you a little bit of insight. I went in at 6 a.m. after I had decided that I wanted to do this. I had to take 30 days and let my insurance know. I had a time sign a waiver. They just don't like making any rash decisions. I guess that's if you need your insurance to cover it. And then they scheduled me though within like 3 days of my waiver going through. And we scheduled it. I went in at like 6. They prepped me, which just was like, you have to pee in a cup, make sure you're not pregnant. They tell you what's going to happen during the procedure. They blow up your stomach. They put a tube through your belly button. They put a scope through your belly button, and so they can see everything in there. And then I don't know what they use, but then they can go in and clamp them off or cut them, whatever they're doing. Mine were supposed to be clamped. That was the procedure the hospital offered, and that's just in case you want to have it reversed. But I didn't want to have mine reversed anyways, ever. I don't ever see myself wanting to. And they couldn't get it around my fallopian tube, like it just wouldn't go. And instead of continuing to try to pinch it off, they eventually just cut and burned them. So now it's pretty permanent. But so they told me what was going to happen. I had to have my IV put in. And then they had the anesthesiologist come in and talk to me, and then we went off to the OR. It took like 30 minutes in the OR. I was unconscious, and then I woke up. I had to spend like another hour in the hospital just to come to, and then once I was well enough to call my boyfriend and have him come get me, we did that, and then I went home and I slept for a while, and then I woke up and I felt really good. Like, they tell you you're going to be in pretty big pain, because I asked him, I said, is it painful? Because my very first cesarean was awful. If you want to read more about my background, I'm going to put a link to my blog, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about my background info, because it might make a difference in cases. But I asked him, I said, is it going to hurt? And he was like, yeah, it's pretty painful. Most women think it's pretty bad for the first couple days. He said, but it's only like 3 days recovery and then you're back. And I was like, okay, I got this. Like, I've been through C-sections. I got this. It's a different kind of pain. It's more like doing 3,000 sit-ups. Your abs hurt. Your stomach is really like soft and poochy and very tender to the touch. Your belly button is super tender. Like, I couldn't touch it. I couldn't clean it. It was gross and crusty and red for probably those first couple days, because I couldn't touch it. It hurt that bad. But after that, I felt great. And since then, I felt great. I've had no symptoms. I read a lot because I'm a Google freak, and I shouldn't be. And I Googled all kinds of things, and there were women that were like, oh my gosh, I had the worst cramps I've ever had in my entire life. I haven't had any cramping. It hasn't affected anything. It doesn't affect my sex drive. It doesn't affect, I don't know if it affects my period, because I haven't had one because I'm breastfeeding. And my daughter's only 4 months old, so I haven't even had a period yet. But it hasn't affected me so far that I've noticed. Like, I don't notice anything different. I work out strenuously 4 to 5 days a week. I don't notice any pains, like abdominal pains, lower pains, anything. So it went very well, and I'm very pleased. On to the regrets. The only thing I regret is not filling out that waiver sooner so that when I had my cesarean with my daughter, I could have just got it all done in one sweep. You can do that. And if you're going to have a baby and you want to have your tubes tied, talk to your doctor ahead of time and let them know. So that if you need to fill out a waiver for your insurance to cover it, that you can do that ahead of time so you can just have it all done in one sweep. It would probably be so much easier than trying to go in. I had to go in, it was 2 months after my daughter was born. They have to wait at least 6 weeks. So I suggest just doing it all in one run if you can. As far as looking back, like, I had it, now do I want kids because I had it? Like, you want what you can't have. I'm sure it's different for everybody. For me, no. I have 2 absolutely gorgeous, wonderful, perfect daughters. Like, I couldn't ask for any more. And my boyfriend and I know that's all we want. That's all we want to have. It's good. 2 children is enough for us. We're happy. They're happy. We can provide for them and give them things they want, and more importantly, things they need. Like I said, every case is different. For me, it's been 3 months, and I don't have any regrets. I look at pregnant women. I have a sister-in-law who's having twins. I have another friend that wants to have a baby. I see babies all the time, and I have no baby fever. I'm perfectly content. But if you have any second thoughts at all, I probably wouldn't recommend this. I would one, because it's expensive, but if you want to go the route of more permanent birth control and you're with somebody seriously, you might consider having him have a vasectomy. Those can be reversed, and they're less expensive to do, and they're only a day procedure. They're like in and out. I don't have any regrets as far as not having more kids or doing this to my body. Yeah, I think it was good. It was the right choice for me, and for everybody it's different. But if you are looking at a permanent form of birth control and this is something you're going to consider, I just would say make sure that it's really what you want, like that you're really sure, because you might end up in my position. And my doctor didn't even tell me till afterwards that he had cut and burned my fallopian tubes. And so if you go in and the same thing happens to you, it might not be reversible. And even if it is, there are cases out there where your body just doesn't bounce back the way it's supposed to. So you go and do it and you have it reversed, and then it can take time to get pregnant, and it may not happen at all. So my advice is, like, if it's something you're considering, just make sure that you're 100% about it. Other than that, if it's what you're going to do, I say it's worth it. It's only a couple days of pain, and I feel a lot more content in my sex life and in my future, knowing what to expect from my own body. Yeah. So if you want to read my background information, I have had 2 cesareans, and I had some complications. So that may make a difference in the way my story was. You can check it out. I'm going to put a link in the comments, or not in the comments, in the description. And hopefully I'll be back. If you guys like this, be sure to subscribe, or you can catch me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I will drop those links down below. So hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Thanks!